Heyo, here we are for the first week of the NSTL playoffs. Team prep builder. Didn't think of that one through, as usual. Facing Dark Devil 26. I think that's the number. Trenton Thundurus. We memed off last week. Haven't battled for real. So goods and negatives and positives about that. I have some tricks up my sleeve that would have been nice, or like are nice that I haven't revealed them, but it also would have been nice to like see what he would have brought. But I guess like building for a rematch, I've never had to build for a rematch, and like it's kind of like spooky. I don't like it, especially if you've won. I feel like winning a match and then building for the rematch is harder because you know what worked and they know what didn't work, so they can adjust, and you have to basically predict their adjustments if they lost, you know. So whatever. So I didn't like do like super hardcore like, oh, what am I gonna bring? These are the six I'm going with. Basically, besides Sarina and Scarf Hydreigon are the only things where I'm like, I want a Scarf Hydreigon. One, to Hydreigon basically like counters Blacephalon by a mile. And it's just nice to be able to outspeed Gallade, outspeed Raichu without terrain, outspeed Koko. Like, it outspeeds all these and hits them pretty hard between like Dark Pulse and Earth Power and stuff. So it's like, But he also has Melodic and Skarmory and stuff that a Skuntank even that I would have to predict around. So it's kind of tough. I did a little different again. I predicted 100% Mamoswine, Koko, and Gallade come. Gallade outspeeds most of my team and does huge damage. I mean, kills. You know, Tornadus basically is the only thing that counters it. Kills you with fighting, kills you with psychic. Huge damage on you, huge damage with you. Can almost kill you with psychic. Huge damage on you, huge damage on you. Relief Blade. So Gallade has an incredible matchup. Koko comes just because it's good. I do have Nido. If Koko doesn't come, that's fine. It's just like, well, it basically gives Tornadus a huge advantage and doesn't let his Raichu outspeed me in the terrain. So, you know, but I have Nidoqueen and Lantern for Koko, and I even have technically a Lantern for Raichu or Melodic or whatever with Heal Bell support. I'll get into the team builder later. And Mamoswine, just like huge ground and ice weakness on my team, kills you, huge damage on you, kills you. Well, Weezing's my only thing to stop it, basically. You know, almost kills you, if not kills you. And Quagsire too, but I feel like he's gonna have to prep a lot for Quagsire because he has a huge ground weakness as well. It's just tough. I mean, if I could Toxic his Melodic on like a switch or something, and if I could like Scald Skarmory or something, like Quagsire could be viable, but whatever. And then the rest are scary. Scarf Blacephalon is kind of a threat. Bufalon is actually like a pretty big threat. I don't have any fighting types and whatnot, and like basically Weezing would be my only thing to handle this as well as Mamoswine. So whatever, let's just go into the team. I have a very defensive Weezing. I did a mock battle with a friend and won because I don't know, he brought like the really obvious stuff and my sets all worked out, but I don't know if Brennan's gonna predict that kind of stuff because like some of it's out there, some of it's not. But, and Weezing was less defensive. It had, like, maybe, like, 140 in special defense. And then, like, non-Life Orb Mamo did, like, 44%. I'm like, that's, with an Icicle Crash, like, that's way too much. So, it's tough. Sub Mamo, if I would never think he would ever bring Sub Mamo. But Sub Mamo would be a huge threat against me because I wouldn't be able to break the sub. But I figured, actually, I might still bring Flamethrower. Because the only thing, like, Gallade or Raichu could try to set up on me, and then I could just, like, clear smog them, but I'm slower, so if they're already set up, I'm kind of screwed. But I think I'm going to keep this. Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split for his physical attackers, and possible Toxic Spikes. His team's pretty weak to it, besides Skarmory. Like, Toxic Spikes hit... and Skuntank, but I don't know about Skuntank. I put Skuntank orange because it's scary. I don't know if he'll bring it. So, pretty straightforward set, just defensive, trying to get health back, trying to burn things. Clear Smog over Flamethrower could really bite me, but Flamethrower is literally for a single move on a single mon, whereas Clear Smog is just like similar damage, but wider range. But like it's like that one move on the one mon to lose me the game, so it's spooky. We'll have to see. If you bring Sub Mamo, like that's good prep that even if I can prove with this video that I saw coming, you just like that's just good prep, you know. It's like I'm not gonna go that niche where I'm throwing away like a more obvious option counter, whatever, you know what I mean. So here we have Nidoqueen. It's just like offensive, a little bit of speed to outspeed Melodic that's uninvested. I was Life Orb with Substitute over Focus Blast, and then I thought about it, and I said, well, if Blacephalon is Scarfed, I don't have anything to stop that, if it gets +1. I mean, like, Shadow Ball was doing, like, a little over 50% if I was just HP investment and no Assault Vest, but Fire Blast was doing, like, 77%. I was just like, I can't, like, I can't risk the Blacephalon, even if I don't think it's coming. I really don't think Blacephalon's coming, but I figured I could get a free sub up on Coco or Skarmory mainly, or even Meganium. But basically, he goes, if Melodic's still alive, he goes Melodic every time. So it's like, yeah, I can put this in on Coco if he doesn't U-turn. I get a free sub up, and then I Thunderbolt with modest Life Orb, Thunderbolt with a specially defensive Melodic, which I would expect Melodic to be specially defensive, because he has Skarmory. Then it was just like, it was doing 49% max. I'm like, well, if he's leftovers, or even if he's Flame Orb, like, there's no way, like, I don't know, there's just, like, no way I would 2-hit KO it. I guess, like, if I outsped and was Life Orb, I guess so. But, like, basically what I'm thinking is like, well, if I substitute, that's 25% of my health to have either something that speeds me and break the sub come in, or have Melodic come in, me Thunderbolt once, have my sub broken, potentially outsped, and then I just have to switch as he recovers or gets a huge chunk on. And then I once again risk, if I'm substituting, I'm risking Blacephalon being able to kill me from range. So like, I think this is fine. If Melodic ends up giving me trouble and his Flame Orb over leftovers, which I just kind of thought about now, then I'll be like, oh, I wish I had sub. But like, if I was running sub, I'd more want to run Black Sludge anyways. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. But Earth Power and Sludge Wave just wrecks his team, and then Thunderbolt covers Skarmory and Melodic. And then I Focus Blast for like maybe Mammo or Bouffalon if I have to, just because I didn't really need the last coverage move, but I need an offensive move if I'm going to be Assault Vest, unless to protect a knockoff or something, which is kind of silly. I don't think I'm going to do that. So that's that. I don't know. I think it should be okay. Tornadus comes in here. I'm running a little bit more speed than I need to outspeed. I'm running to outspeed like Modest Coco in case he wants to get zesty and predict me to bring my Tornadus speed down to Mega Gallade and Raichu. I can't run Modest and outspeed Raichu and Gallade, which is bad. I can't risk him EVing those down. That's not worth it. So Air Slash, Life Orb almost kills Gallade. Dark Pulse should kill Raichu. I don't expect to ever keep this thing in on Coco. And then I can just get damage on anything else. I mean, Dark Pulse on Blacephalon if I can take a hit. Like Melodic, I'll probably just have to U-turn out on. But I'm not too worried about switching to Melodic or Coco. So I don't know, that's fine. So this is my coverage. Heat Wave for Skarmory if I didn't say that. So it's pretty straightforward. Speedy Tornadus to do damage. That's what Tornadus has been doing all season and is going to continue to do so. Alright, so next is the same Lantern set essentially as I used for Gray for his Thundurus and Greninja, but this time it's for Coco, sort of Raichu, and it can basically 1v1 Melodic since it has Heal Bell, and I have Toxics to try to catch switches in if I need to, because this time I don't need a Thunder Wave. Like Coco and Raichu can't be Thunder Waved. Gallade's not really going to switch in on this thing, I don't think. And then like Blacephalon, I guess, but I just need to live a hit and Scald the Blacephalon. That I've Scald for potential burns, Thunderbolt. Just the coverage in case he gets terrain up. Thunderbolt will do a lot to Skarmory or Melodic. I mean, this thing lets Skarmory set up spikes, kind of, especially because it outspeeds for roosting on Thunderbolts. But I can still Scald, I can still Heal Bell. So, I don't know, this is fine. This is my Coco switch pretty much every time. It's probably my Raichu switch, which if terrain is like lasting forever and Raichu's able to set up on this thing, I'll probably just lose. But it would depend how much moves are doing, how much damage Raichu took, if I can stall out the terrain so Raichu can't outspeed me. So it's a pretty straightforward set, especially defensive, whatever. So here's my Zest. I'm bringing it back all the way to week 1, but improved. So this time I have Z Snatch, which is a +2 speed, so I can outspeed a Scarfer. I can even, and I think like max speed Coco Scarfed like outspeeds me, which is actually insane if you ever brought that. So if this thing's in, if I'm hoping he doesn't have phasing on Melodic or Skarmory. I wouldn't I guess he would have Whirlwind on Skarmory if he has hazards, if he wants to move around. But I really don't think Dragon Tail's coming on Melodic. I think that thing needs water, poison, recovery, and like ice or HP grass or something first. So I really don't think Dragon Tail. So this thing could come in on Skarmory, potentially snatch or recover depending on what if he's trying to scout or whatever. Get us snatch up, potentially Nasty Plot if I can bolt another hit from something, and then Psychic and Thunderbolt would just sweep him. Besides like Sucker Punch, Skuntank shenanigans, and stuff like that, I would have to look out for. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna try to sweep him with Hoopa this week. That's basically my main goal, and I have a little help doing this. Obviously, speed for Mamo and Meganium technically, which I don't think is coming. So to help a little bit with this, I have a Light Clay Reflect Sarina, and this is why I was thinking between this and Hydreigon, because if I'm bringing Hydreigon, I'm probably not running the Z Hoopa set. So I have Trope Kick just to lower attacks and damage things, Synthesis to stay healthy, Reflect with Light Clay so I can potentially go into Hoopa and have that free setup, and at the very worst, I can even take like a U-turn from non-physical Koko. I don't think he would run physical Koko either, since like no matter what, I'm screwing, like he's getting screwed over by myself, and like I would have Mawile, so he would want Thunderbolt from Mawile if he's bringing Koko. So Reflect lets me do quite a few things. You know, I can tank hits from physical attackers that aren't like banded or super offensive, and I mean it just helps the rest of my team. His team is more physical than it is special. Kind of. At least near the end there. I mean, like, Koko is mixed, Raichu's special, Blacephalon's special, Melodic's fake special. It's just a wall, basically, with decent special attack. And then I Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards. The U-turn would be really nice, especially with Reflect, but I figured these moves are more important, so I can Synthesis this thing to keep it healthy, especially if I can burn something, like, if I can burn Mamo and get Reflex up on it and stuff, and just stay healthy. My EVs are really weird. It's kind of bad. I am doing the mixed thing where it's like, well, I have Reflect, but I still want physical defense if Reflect isn't up. And the fact that I'm split between 4 means I have to put that 4 into attack. I can't put 8 somewhere, or an extra 4 into something. So it is weird. I'm pretty sure I'm EV'd for Skuntank if it's like no speed or something. I don't know. But hopefully this allows me to sweep with Hoopa, and then the rest of my team is switches for his main offensive threats like Koko. Whatever. Oh, and like if I didn't mention it, yeah, I guess I kind of. Tornadus is my main answer to Gallade. I don't have a defensive answer to Gallade. Most people don't, besides like maybe a Cress or something, which is a really defensive psychic type that can take a knockoff. So yeah, so if Gallade comes in and starts doing shenanigans, I may have to sack something off and switch into Tornadus to revenge it, or not even revenge it. He might just switch because he has electric types. So that's a bad situation. He may lead Mega Gallade. I'm thinking Mega Gallade's a really good lead because it's like I have 2 poison types. I have just like 2 less physically defensive between Lantern and Hoopa, and then I just have like, yeah, Trope Kick, Sarina. I mean, like Sarina is, I think Sarina or Tornadus are my leads for this match. Sarina, I can get the early Reflect and stop him from going for early hazards if he leads Skarm or whatever. And then Tornadus, if I want to predict the Gallade lead, and even basically anything besides Koko lead. But if he leads Koko, I can go Nidoqueen or Lantern, but he's probably going to U-turn. I would imagine he brings U-turn over Volt Switch. If he brings both or neither or one, it would be U-turn. That sentence didn't make sense. And if he U-turns out on Nidoqueen or Lantern, as I switch those in, I have to bring in Weezing every time. And if he's Bandit, it could be spooky. So I don't know. It's tough. I'll have to make that decision live. We're battling scheduled for 40 minutes from now, so it's coming up. I'm nervous. Not like I'm nervous to lose. I'm just nervous because I'm competitive, and this kind of stuff just like makes me nervous. I'm like, ooh, I get like the shivers and stuff. But it's like an excitement. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna lose. It's just like, ooh, this is fun. Or whatever, I don't know. Like sporting events, it's similar. If you can relate, I don't know. All right, that's my team builder. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, it's like I kind of had to. I felt like building far out would help me more, especially against someone like Brendan, who either 1 may bring weird stuff because he's seasoned, or 2 may bring like very core, the best stuff, which are like the 2 things I've tried to prep for. But basically just like predictions. If he brings Buffalon or even Druddigon, that's a huge problem for me. Just because like I didn't have slots available to try to deal with those. If he brings Meganium, it's annoying but not huge, unless it screens, which could be bad. And then Scarf Blacephalon, hopefully I've accounted for by adding Assault Vest, Nidoqueen. And Galley's just a huge threat, and there's nothing I can do about that. So whatever, that's my predictions. Battle's about to start. From your perspective, thanks for watching. Ooh, okay, here's the battle. So, I decided not to live comment. Two reasons. One, I didn't know if I had, like, the window. If I, by the time the battle ended and stuff. And also, I lost all my 3 losses have all come during live comms. I'm undefeated just battling in my own time. That's probably mostly superstition. I don't really think I've, like, made any, like, commentary-based distraction decisions that, like, lost me those games, but I didn't want to risk it either. But, just to lead off, he did bring Buffalon, which is scary. No Raichu, which is, like, also not scary, just because speed and terrain. So, like, that's good and bad at the same time. As Buffalon, if it's Sword Stance, I can kind of handle it, or if it's Assault Vest, I can kind of handle it with Weezing either way. Bandit is the worst option, basically. But I'm thinking Coco's still, like, the most obvious lead. Maybe, like, Buffalon, or even Skarmory. I decided to lead Serena as I had described instead of whoever else I said. So, whatever, let's go. He does lead Tapu Koko. He gets a Surge Up. I'm just going to go for the turn 1 Reflect. He could have Brave Bird, but I didn't think it'd be super pertinent, so I'm going to go straight into Hoopa on this Skarmory. I figured I can just get electric damage off on something, get huge damage. Sturdy, he stays in, which is kind of weird. I thought maybe he might just, like, whirlwind me out, but he is tacking the X-Scissor. Oh, the Reflect does a huge job here, but, that's also huge damage on Hoopa. Great Bring Mine. His part in Psychic does nothing to Buffalon, so I know for a fact it's Assault Vest, which is good in one way because it means Hoopa couldn't have set up anyways, and bad because this thing has a lot of bulk, but that's okay. I'll bring in Weezing on it, take the hit every time, especially under a Reflect. Reflect is being extremely huge for me right now. He goes Melodic. I don't have Toxic. I probably would have Toxic on that turn had I had it, but I'm going to go for Toxic Spikes. It hits everything on his team besides Skarm, and Skarm's at 1 HP, so there's a chance if he has Defog, he'll either 1, have to get rid of his own rocks, or 2, just not be able to do it. So he's going to start Scalding. I'm going to go back. I'm going to Pain Split here because I knew he was at a lot of health, and Scald wouldn't have killed. He does go for Ice Beam, probably predicting Serena. So this turn, I'm going to go Serena. He might once again predict that. That's fine. I have Heal Bell and Lantern if he burns me. Probably not a huge deal, but he's going to keep going for Ice Beam. Smart play on his part. He knows he can recover, like the Pain Split recover won't work out in either his favor. So he's free to go for Ice Beams. And I'm going to recover on his recover, Synthesis, whatever, same thing. So now I'm free to go for another Reflect. I'm free to get damage on this thing, and I'm free to Rapid Spin his rocks away. I figured I'd go for Rapid Spin first because I know I can recover up on this thing as much as it can recover on me. I can get a Reflect up. This is basically a stalemate here, with him at a slight advantage simply because Synthesis does not have enough PP to outlast his recovers, and we'll find out here that a Trop Kick. Sorry, here I forgot I'm faster. Me being faster is huge here. I don't think I outspeed base speed wise for Melodic, or if I do, it's close. But I did put the speed investment. I live the Ice Beam on 1 HP. As I go for a Trop Kick, I figured here I'm going to Synthesis again. It doesn't matter. Trop Kick could have killed his Melodic, so I was assuming he was going to switch. Going for Trop Kick there probably would have been the better play because I would have just killed Skarmory. But now Rocks are back up, and I've switched out, which is very smart on him to go for Rocks on that play or on that turn. Just good move by him. Okay, here the battle got ahead of me, so I get flinched. Bad. So right. So I went into Tornadus on his Skarmory. I knew I could attack anything. I could outspeed it, kill it. He got rocks up as I switched, so I Dark Pulse kill him. He goes into Mammo. So on this turn, I did U-turn. It would not have done that much. to him. Probably would have done like 20-ish%. I was assuming he might be. I wanted to kind of like scout for him. I figured if he would go for Ice Shard, it wouldn't do anything under the Reflect. And I then could U-turn out. If he didn't go for Ice Shard, I would probably just switch into Weezing to take the hit. I mean, maybe Lantern, but then he could just go for Earthquake if he wasn't choiced. But he reveals the Scarf. He gets a flinch. It's a big flinch, not because of the lost U-turn damage, but because I now have to hard switch and take damage on something else rather than just getting the extra U-turn damage off. It is 10% more life orb with the rocks up, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So now I obviously have to switch, but he's gonna double predicting Lantern because I now know he's Scarfed. So this is a good play on his part, but it also doesn't matter because Weezing takes hits from this thing all day, except I go for Thunderbolt to kind of scout him in a weird way. I thought maybe he would go for Head Charge, and I needed Weezing at higher health. But seeing all the damage and that, I figured what's the worst that could happen. And he doubles back into Gallade, and I'm like, okay, well, he's starting to make switches. It's good moves here. It's Gallade is poison, so I can't burn it. So what I'm going to do is go into Hoopa, basically sack it, because the only thing it really outspeeds is either Melodic, which is almost dead, or Bouffalant, which I can't kill still yet. So I'm going to show off my Z Snatch for speed in case you want to do something stupid. There was no way he was going to just take a hit, especially now that he's poisoned. But the Toxic Spikes are doing a good job. Hoopa goes down, that's fine. Doesn't get a kill, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go into Tornadus. I know this thing outspeeds Gallade every time. I can do whatever I want. I figured I'm not going to risk U-turning out. And I Air Slash him and burn him. So I actually don't get a kill there, but kills don't matter because it's the playoffs. But his burn takes him out, which is nice because I don't have to take another hit of Life Orb. Which is fine. So now he's going to go into Mamoswine. I'm going to switch out. He goes for Freeze Dry, which is like a smart play, but it also didn't matter because like Icicle Crash, besides having the chance to miss, was a 2-hit KO there. And now I get a free switch into Nidoqueen because I know he's locked into Freeze Dry now, and I'm Assault Vest. I can do basically infinity damage to everything on his team. And Earth Power doesn't do a lot to Bouffalant, but I figured 18%, Poison takes him down, Sludge Wave, higher power, that might have been a low roll anyways because this Nidoqueen's pretty offensive. So Sludge Wave does take him out. It's awesome. He's going to go into Gallade to figure, okay, I need Nidoqueen at high health. I don't need Sorina anymore. It doesn't even outspeed anything on his team. It could be nice to get a Reflect up, but I don't think it would get the chance, besides maybe against Coco, which I have Nidoqueen for. So it's a big old cycle of who do I need, when do I need them. So I can go into Tornadus again. I can go for an Air Slash, get damage off on either Mamo or Coco. I can U-turn out, try to trick him. I don't really have a particular move for this Coco again. But here I'm going to get a lot of damage off on Air Slash, which is fine. I'm going to switch out again, get regenerated back, keep this guy high. And here's Nidoqueen, which is like a complete counter to this Coco. Besides the fact that right here he shows Bloom Doom, which is a pretty decent issue because that does 33%. That's a lot of damage. And now, not that I could take a hit from Mamo before, but now I definitely can't. So I'm going to pause it here. And here's my thought process. Had he gone into Gallade, obviously I let either Nidoqueen or Weezing die. I'm letting Nidoqueen die no matter what he goes into, because Weezing can still stop the Gallade, Weezing's for the Mamoswine, and then Tornadus outspeeds and kills the Gallade. So he goes into Mamoswine here. I figured, okay, he goes for Earthquake to not risk the miss or get the Icicle Crash damage, and I die, and I can go into Weezing for free, and he'll be forced to switch. I can double into Tornadus. He goes for Icicle Crash. It probably hits and kills me. If it misses, I get lucky. I go into Weezing again, and then I have to make the decision to double into Tornadus because he could still stay in and try to get Icicle Crash damage, just kill me, and then outspeed Tornadus and kill that. That involves a lot of Icicle Crashes hitting, which isn't necessarily always going to happen, but it's an option. And then also I could go into Weezing, risk getting 2-hit KO'd by Icicle Crash and just losing, or not getting 2-hit KO'd by it, and then figuring out what the hell to do from there, probably still doubling. And just putting myself in a weird situation where I have Nidoqueen alive that can't outspeed or take any hit whatsoever. Or, a Zen Head bonus. So whatever, those are the options in my head, and a lot of them include doubling into Tornadus. afterwards. And here he's actually going to make a huge misplay, go for freeze dry, and die, essentially, to poison next turn. So I'll let that happen. He can't switch, obviously. I mean, he could, but like he can't. So he's gonna die to Toxic. Take out Nidoqueen with a crit that didn't matter. So here's the thing: if you look at that spread on freeze dry, it did 26%, and I had 17 left. So that means if that had done 1.5 times more without my assault vest, it would have done 39%. It would have been a roll. It would have been a 16 extra percent based on the math. I would have 4% left. So based on damage rolls, even if I weren't Assault Vest, I mean, if I weren't Assault Vest, I would have taken way more from Bloom Doom, and then that would have killed me. But like, that was definitely a misplay on his part, and he knew it. Like he even said after the battle. So that guarantees Mamo goes down. I mean, like I said, like he didn't risk the Icicle Crash miss. But now I'm free to go into Tornadus and outspeed this Gallade and play it extremely safe. Go for the U-turn and make sure he's in range that I can kill him with Dark Pulse or U-turn again and not worry about misses or anything, because Air Slash could miss, Heat Wave could miss. So he goes for Ice Punch, doesn't kill Weezing. Now he's taking poison damage, which is fine. He couldn't have like, gone for Substitute. That wasn't a misplay that he would sub on the Weezing, because he would have died to poison damage. And now I can go into Tornadus and clean up the game, take the 1-0 victory. It was a very close game. Looking back, he made some very smart doubles in there. Definitely my build was like very well built for the team he brought. Not to like toot my own horn. And I think he did a few times where he played around where he doubled into Gallade, and I think he doubled into something else. But like he made good plays except for that freeze dry play. And even then, there was a very good chance I would have doubled into Tornadus. I don't know, like on the Gallade, he would have either had a sack Gallade on Air Slash or switch in Mamo for no reason, and I probably would have won the match there. But also, like, it would have depended. Like that would have been basically like coin flips, depending on what Weezing could have actually done to the Mamo, because Weezing really couldn't touch the Mamo. So if I had more health, I could have Pain Slid it one turn and then try to damage it, Toxic it down. So like there was a lot of iffies had he not clicked Freeze Dry. There was a lot of potential Icicle Crash misses for him, and a potential Air Slash miss for me, I suppose. But way more excitement, baby! We're going to round 2. That was a playoff game, my first playoffs of any league and anything. And I'm very happy with it. I was honestly thinking I was probably gonna lose when that Mamo came in on Nidoqueen, and then the second I saw Freeze Dry, I was like, oh wait, I win now. Which is tough. It's kind of tough to win a game on a misplay without like definitive proof that I was already gonna win. You know, it feels a little bit less like earned, but I'm still super excited. So with based on uploads and stuff, this won't be spoiled. Between DFP, Drunk for Dreaming Pikachu, and Norwich Skitty, both teams I beat. I 5-0'd Skitty because of that Abomasal flinch, and then I like 3-0'd DFP because of Fire Blast missed or whatever, and technically a Sacred Fire miss. DFP won that game, so that will be my semi-opponent match, or semifinals opponent match, which I'm not happy about, because my matchup was way worse against that team, and I definitely won because of luck. So I'm going to have to rethink a bit of my team build, how I play, how I deal with certain things, but that'll be in the team builder for next week when we play them a week from today. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think.